You want me to do what? No, thanks. Hey, everybody. Pastor Nicole here. Welcome to our Midweek Moment. This week, we continued on in the story of Esther, and we talked about how if God had shown Esther the entire plan, maybe she wouldn't have said yes to it, right? And we talked about, we used Frodo Baggins from The Lord of the Rings as a illustration as well. And I got to thinking about my own story, my own call story. And that if when I was called to be a pastor, I was 16 years old. And if God had come saying, Nicole, I want you to be a pastor. Here's all that you will experience. Here's all the things that you're going to do. Here's all the stuff that you're going to go through. I would have run in the other direction. My 16-year-old self could not have handled everything that I've been through in ministry. It's just, there's no way. But God doesn't work that way. Thank goodness, because nobody would ever say yes. Instead, God calls us and shows us maybe the next step or just the next couple of steps. And we're like, oh, I can totally do that. I can take those steps. That's not so scary. And then by the time we get to the scary stuff, we feel much more confident. We feel more able to do it. We know that God's been with us already and he's not going to abandon us in the hard stuff. And so thank goodness God doesn't tell us everything when he first calls us. Nobody would ever say yes to anything, not just being a pastor, but really to any work that God is calling us to. There are hard things in life that we have to go through. There are hard things that God calls us to do. There are things that God calls us to speak up about and to change or to be an agent of change. There's lots of things that we are called to do. And if we knew it all at the beginning, no thanks. So I'm so grateful that God just shows us the next couple of steps. It reminds me of that song in Frozen 2 that always makes me cry, where Anna sings about doing the next right thing. That's kind of how it works in our faith. If we can just focus on doing the next right thing, then it's way less scary. and we won't get overwhelmed with what God is asking us to do. As a 16-year-old, I just don't think I ever would have said yes to all the things that God has called me to do. You know, I mean, it's been a wild ride, a glorious and wonderful, but wild ride. And I'm really grateful for this calling. I'm grateful that I said yes. I'm grateful that I didn't feel overwhelmed at the beginning of my call, at least not to the point where I refused to say yes. And I'm grateful to know that God has got me through this so far, and that he's not going to abandon me now. So if God is calling you to do something and you're just not sure, say yes. Do it. God is going to be with you. And yeah, maybe you don't know what it's going to look like, or maybe you don't know how much time it's going to take, or what the outcome's going to be. But maybe that's okay. And maybe it's better that you don't know now so that you will say yes to serving God. So take a chance, take a risk, be like Esther, say yes. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.